In this session, we are going to see how do we make a bar graphs in a Scilab. Bar graphs are very important segments for representation of data. It is very important to check a comparative study that represent a various data set. Let us suppose I have this particular table in which we have a name of students with a roll number and the number allotted in different subjects. So we have three subjects, math, science and arts, in which these six students is having different numbers. So we want to represent this particular data in the form of bar plots. Okay, so basically bar graphs are of two type. First one is a grouped type and second one is a stacked type. In grouped type, we individually represent these particular data sets for a specific header or a specific identifier. Okay, however in a stacked type we have a single bar, and in that particular bar the we divide that particular bar according to a numbers. So suppose if we have a 96 which is representing a way larger than 25, so the representation for 96 is very large, corresponding to a representation for mathematics. So these are the type of bar plot. So in the grouped plot, as you can see, we have individually representing bars for each marks for a specific identifier. So roll number 10 is having a marks of math, science and arts. Okay, so we have representation like this. Similarly, in a stacked bar plot, we have a one bar, and in that particular one bar we divide it into a it in three parts according to a numbers gained in a subjects. So as I have already told you that the roll number 11 who is having a maximum marks in arts, so the red representation for roll number 11 is very large than a mathematics, which is a very low. So now we are going to see these particular bar plots in a Scilab. Okay, so in this particular Scilab console, first we do to define a different variables for different vectors. Okay, so let us suppose this is a student ID and I am simply writing a roll number over here, which I have already called as a student identifier 50. So we have these particular data sets available over here. Next we are creating a matrix regarding a marks. Okay, so we represent that particular complete data set in the form of what, a student ID and a matrix marks. So I am simply creating a matrix in the form of rows and columns. So in the first row we have 48, 46 and 32. Then in the next column we have 25, 55 and 96. Then we have 47, 77 and 54. Then we have 37, 44, 56. Then we have 99, 33 and 89. We have 65, 76 and then 78. So we have created a matrix in this particular form. Maybe I have written somewhere wrong. Okay, I have forgotten. Okay, so this is a matrix we have created. So it is a 6x3 matrix. Now for making a bar plot, I simply use a inbuilt command bar and then pass a argument as a student ID, and then the second argument is marks. So if I press enter, we have this particular bar plot present over here, which is representing a group style. Okay, so as you can see over here in the bar function, I have not represented any specific third argument. So by default it is creating a bar plot which is of grouped nature. Okay, so if we want to make a stacked type of bar plot, then what we have to do is we have to simply provide a third argument, and in that third argument I have to simply write a stacked. Okay, so it is very simple. First I have written over here the inbuilt function name bar, then first argument is representing a student id which is present in a x-axis, and then the marks, okay, which is representing in the form of bar in a y-axis, and then in the third argument in the single quotes I have represented a stacked. Okay, so now you can see we have this particular stacked representation over here in which we have one bar and the numbers are distributed with different colors over here in a single bar. So this is very simple to create a bar plot. Now suppose if I want to provide a title to this particular bar plot, or I have to given a x label and y label so that we can easily identify what this particular plot is representing. So we can do this particular task by using a x title. So in by using a one command we can provide both the details, title and the labels. So let us suppose title is student marks for 3 subjects, and in the x label let us suppose I have to write a student id, and in the third I have to write a marks. So if I press enter, now you can see we have what a title over here, we have a x label over here, and we have a marks over here. Now suppose if I want to create a legend, if I want to create a legend that shows the different colors with the different subjects. So for creating a legend I have to simply write a command legends, and then I can pass a different data over here. So we have a maths, then separated by semicolon we have a science, then arts. Okay, so maybe this legends is wrong keyword, we have to write a legend in place of legends. Okay, so now it is executing, and you can see we have a legend over here which represents what red is arts, green is science, and blue is mathematics. Now suppose if I want to fix the position of this particular box which is carrying a legend markers. Okay, suppose if I want to move it to this particular position or any other position of our interest, so how do we can do this particular task? For that we have to pass one more argument. So here we have written what legends, and then after legend I can simply write what position, pos, and if I pass suppose 1, now you can see we have a legend over here. Suppose if I pass a 2, so now the legend is moved toward a leftwards, or if I write a position as 3, then it is moved towards a left at the bottom edge. Okay, now if I want to move this particular box according to our requirement, suppose if I want to place it over here, okay, for that I have to use a pos equals to 5. Okay, so now if I press enter, you can see we can easily select a position for this particular legend. Okay, so now I am placing it over here. So it is very simple to place a legend according to our requirement. Now if I want to mention the name over here, okay, as we have uh, discussed in the table that we have a name of students with the roll numbers, and we have a subject marks in a different subject. So we have represented a roll number over here and marks. But suppose if I want to write a name over here, okay, so how do we can perform this particular task? As in the plotting section, I have already told you that this particular mark is nothing but a text. So we have a major text and minor text, and we can use this particular text label for representation of a data. So before we actually writing a name of a student over here, first we have to uh, create a handle for a graph. First we have to create a handle for a graph. Okay, so that I can do by making use of GCA command. Let us suppose I have one variable a and I am simply writing GCA. Okay, so GCA is representing a graphic control axis. So by getting a control of a graphics, we can modify different segments of a graph. Okay, so I have created one variable and I am getting a access to a graph and provided to this particular variable a. Now what I am doing is I can simply write a variable a dot. Now in the graph I want to mention the names in the x, so I am using what, x text. Okay, this is x text. Likewise we have y text, so 20, 40, these all are y major text, and in between we have y minor text. So right now we are using what, x text. So I am writing what, a x underscore text dot labels, and in labels I am simply providing name of student as Alex, Alan, Roxer, Prince, Joe, and Ron. So now you can see we have, in place of roll number, now we have a different names of a different students with a specific data set. So we can easily make a bar plots, and we can easily decorate according to our requirements. Okay, thank you.